So the latest round of Republican infighting is just heating up, and this time it's a rumble between Mitch McConnell, the top Republican in the Senate, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, a rising star within the Trump wing of the Republican Party, quickly becoming Donald Trump's favorite member of the House of Representatives, largely because she spreads absolutely insane conspiracies that are part and parcel of American Trumpism. So I want to read you a statement or a tweet from Mitch McConnell that really underlines that he's going at Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it says here, GOP Senate Leader Mitch McConnell is denouncing newly elected Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling the far-right Georgia Republicans' embrace of conspiracy theories and quote-unquote loony lies a cancer for the Republican Party. And among those lies, they're talking about JFK conspiracies, conspiracies about the Clintons, conspiracies about Jewish space lasers, awful events at schools, and on and on and on and on. And that, of course, includes Donald Trump's conspiracies about the recent election. And so this lady is rising. She should be expelled. She must be expelled if the United States is any decent country. But she is becoming a real thorn in the Republican side because she represents a significant portion of her base, and she seems to have the personal blessing of Donald Trump. The personal blessing. We made a video on it where she had a call. Apparently, she's reiterated that they are soon going to have a rare person-to-person meeting. Again, Trump just doesn't meet with every elected Republican official. He picks and chooses who he meets with as a form of power projection. Who gets the ear of the president directly matters within Republican circles. And so if you think this insane congresswoman is going to back down to Mitch McConnell, you're wrong. And that's what she said. She said here, the real cancer for the Republican Party is weak Republicans who only know how to lose gracefully. This is why we are losing our country. And of course, that's a direct response to Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell doesn't mention her directly in his statement, but it's clear who she's talking about or he's talking about. And likewise, Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't mention Mitch McConnell, but it's clear who she's talking about. We know this. And there's a couple things there. One, Mitch McConnell is one of the biggest names in Republican politics, and the fact that a rookie congresswoman feels that she can double down in her attacks on him on social media in public shows that the power base in the Republican Party is really dissolved right now. By that, I mean that it's sort of weakened because they've lost all three branches, and there's a real internal war about how that structure is going to be reformed. And there's no guarantee that, the existing voices that aren't explicitly pro-Trump will be able to hold on to their power. There's no guarantee there, right? Like, it could be that Trumpism reasserts itself even more powerfully within House and Senate leadership. But it's also possible it doesn't. The point is, this rookie congresswoman now feels she has the authority and the strength and the base power to go at the top Senate Republican. What is crucial in that statement, though, and this is what's terrifying here, is that she has manifested and sort of solidified like concrete what I feared most about Donald Trump's rhetoric in the election. Because during that election, Donald Trump made believing his fantasies about victory a requisite of being a loyal Republican. It was not simply something that you could choose to believe or not believe and still be a good Republican. Donald Trump made it a litmus and loyalty test. If you believe that I lost, you are a bad Republican. No matter how much evidence, no matter how much reality, if you believe I lost, you're a bad Republican. That's what Trump said. And what Taylor Greene is saying here is that Republicans that lose gracefully are bad Republicans and are selling out the country. Which is to say, you should never concede. You should never lose gracefully. You should never acknowledge results, honestly and courteously. You should never admit in good faith the will of the people did not go my way this time. For whatever reason, the will of the people can never go against you. And so now Marjorie Taylor Greene, again, one of the new Trump rookies in the House, new Trump freshman, is saying, reiterating, the problem with our party is that we acknowledge we lose elections. This is terrifying stuff, because this is going to become the majority view in the Republican Party. Every time they lose, it will be seen as traitorous to admit it. And it's where that party's going. So I don't know what the ultimate outcome is here, but I do want to hammer one thing home. No sympathy for Mitch McConnell. You're going to see some people share this with the narrative that there are some good Republicans out there that really do believe in moderate conservatism and principled conservatism that isn't, conspiratorial or hateful or seditious. But the thing is, Mitch McConnell didn't vote to impeach Trump. When the second impeachment vote came up and 45 Republicans tried to suggest that the even having the trial was unconstitutional, Mitch McConnell was among those 45. And crucially, Mitch McConnell has not joined Democrats and even a couple Republicans in admitting that the country can't move forward unless people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are expelled from the House of Representatives. Now, as a senator, he doesn't really get a vote in that. The House decides. It needs 2/3 of the House. But unless he's going to call upon Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, to expel one of his own members, all of this is puffery. The fighting in the Republican Party is real, but nobody on the anti-Trump side gets credit until they make the difficult decision to tear down their own party. Unless they're willing to fundamentally remove the cancerous elements from their party or leave the Republican Party themselves, there should be no basis of forgiving them or working with them.